2, 3, 4.
Here we are at Colorado. We're at the Rocky Mountain. Not sure how good it's gonna come in. It's pretty cloudy up here. What are you saying, Zach? Say hi, Papa. Slow down.
My dad has always been my hero. He's loving and caring. He's always willing to help someone out, no matter if he knows you or not. And he's got a little bit of goofiness that just makes life so much fun. Growing up, I always would brag about my dad to other people. I would tell them, my dad's a park ranger for the National Park Service. Now, both my mom and dad actually were park rangers for a while, but my mom switched to the Army Corps of Engineers. But my dad, he spent his entire career with the National Park Service. He spent time in Teddy Roosevelt National Park out west. He spent time in the middle of Lake Erie on Perry's Victory, but he spent the majority of his career at the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, Missouri. He spent 37 years as a National Park Ranger before retiring at the beginning of 2017. And about a year or so after my dad retired, we were back home in Alton, and he was asking me to help him do some things on his computer, and I realized that he had been writing down all of his stories from his life when he was a kid and growing up in high school and college, his times in the National Park Service out west in Teddy Roosevelt or on Perry's Victory. He had all of these stories written out, and I knew I just needed to find a way to read them. I was able to get my hands on these documents, and I just completely devoured them. They were so special to me because story is so important to me. I think when someone tells you a story about their life, they're letting you in and they're giving you a glimpse of who they are now and who they were then. And so to me, it's just this precious gift that I was able to receive from my dad. You know, growing up, I didn't always feel like I knew my dad. Of course, I knew him, but I didn't know his stories. I didn't know his childhood. I didn't know, a lot of what made him who he was. I never knew why he wanted to join the National Park Service. I never knew why he chose to stay in St. Louis for so long. I never knew what led him to propose to my mom. I just didn't know so much about my dad. And so the thoughts of knowing some of his stories just grabbed me and hasn't let go. So for Father's Day this year, I'm giving my dad a gift that's partially a gift for him, but also partially a gift for me. And I'm giving him a subscription to Storyworth. Storyworth is this incredible platform that every week my dad will receive a writing prompt, a question, and he'll have to write about that. And then he sends it in, and at the end of a year, he and I both will get a hardcover book with all of his stories written out. And the cool thing is that you can actually choose all of the questions that you want to ask. So for me, as I'm thinking about this, I'm reflecting on the time that my dad and I took a trip out to Acadia, and we just spent 3 days and 3 nights camping and kayaking and hiking. We sat around the campfire, and he would tell me stories from when he was in the National Park Service, and it was just incredible. And so to think of my dad, I can't think of him and not think of the park ranger. I can't not think of Ranger Rick. So I think the only logical story to tell here is the story of my dad, Ranger Rick. Hello, Ricky.
Hello.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
What are you doing, just chilling?
I've got a golf thing here pretty soon, but we're watching agility dogs.
Oh, okay. Hey, did you just get an email on your phone? Go check your Z-Chips email. Your Father's Day gift should be in there. Okay.
All right, Zach has gifted you a Storyworth subscription.
basically what it is every week you'll get a prompt, a writing prompt, and you'll have to write about whatever question or whatever it is that I send you. And then at the end of the year, you will get a book of all of your like answers put together into a story.
Oh, okay.
So all of your questions are going to be kind of like national park focused. Like I'm going to pick all of your questions for you.
Okay.
So you should get your first prompt on Monday, and you'll just respond to it with however much you want to write.
Okay.
And then every week you'll get one.
Okay.
Is it for how long?
For a year.
Is there a way you'll be able to do photos to it?
Add photos? I think possibly. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think. Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, could be interesting.
He's excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, happy Father's Day. So I thought that while my dad is writing out his story, we could do a video vlog to kind of get the behind the scenes of what's happening with his story and how we're crafting that. I want to show, just take you along with me as I'm figuring out what questions to ask him, and maybe try to get some video of him actually talking about the things that he's remembering and writing down. And I think the coolest thing that we could do would be to actually go visit another national park together, maybe one of the ones that he spent time at, and just get to see him in his element. So that's the big hope. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But this is something that I'm extremely excited about because I want to know my dad's story, and I want my kids and my grandkids to know my dad's story. I want people to remember Rick Zeno, the National Park Ranger, the dad, the grandfather. I want people to remember my dad because I want to remember my dad. So join us for this series, video thing, whatever it turns into. But I'm excited to share the story of Ranger Rick.